Hey, what is going on guys? My name is Nort, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I have something pretty awesome to talk to you guys about. I'm pretty much going to be answering as many questions as I possibly can regarding the Further Adventures and Finance and Felony DLC. Now, Rockstar Games also hinted at what we could see in the future as well regarding this DLC. I'll get into all of that information as we get through this video, but first off, I want to touch up on a few tips and just secrets you may not have known about in this DLC, which may help you improve your CEO organization and ultimately become the kingpin of Los Santos. Now, this was some information Rockstar posted out just earlier today, which may help you along your way. As always, if you guys do go on to enjoy it, please don't leave without smashing that like button, and of course, subscribe to my channel so you won't miss out on any more stuff just like this. So getting straight into the information, Rockstar Games posted out the best way to make money in your CEO organization, and this posts out the positives and the negatives of using different tactics in GTA Online. The first tactic is to slowly fill up your warehouse one crate at a time. This way it is the most profitable method, but of course you're not going to get the time efficiency out of this. However, if you buy large shipments, 2 or 3 crates at a time, then of course you will fill up your warehouse faster and ultimately make money faster, but you're doing it at a higher cost, meaning that if you want to get loads and loads of crates faster and get more things in your warehouse over a shorter period of time, yes, go for larger shipments, but if you want to get the most money and if you have a lot of time on your hand, just do things one crate at a time. The risk isn't as much, you also get more money for that crate, and of course, like I said, if you have a lot of time on your hand, this is definitely the method for you. Further on, it goes on to explain the obvious that if there's more players in your session, the risk of doing these missions has been driven a lot higher. But if you guys are wondering why people will go and disrupt missions, Rockstar Games do of course answer this question. If you guys like disrupting missions, how do other players disrupt my business operations? And it says, quote, after an organization collects special cargo in a buy mission or embarks to sell it on a sell mission, a global signal revealing your special cargo's location will be sent out to all rival organizations and players in the session. The size of the shipment will affect the delay on the timer, and rival organizations and players also have something to gain out of disrupting your mission. So obviously, if you guys are into the troll game, or if you guys are into disrupting other CEOs, of course you do have something to gain from this, but just make sure you are aware of this. If you are going to do a sell mission, be aware that other players in your session are also looking to disrupt it, because they are also looking for stuff to gain from disrupting these missions. They can of course do this by destroying your special cargo, for example, and this is something which I think Rockstar Games want to emphasize, hence why they added this into their recent Newswire post, because many of you guys have been complaining to them, and I don't blame you guys for complaining to Rockstar Games because you have been essentially ambushed on a sell mission. This is why you need good associates, but if someone in your organization is annoying you or causing you trouble, you can dismiss members through the management section of the personal interactions menu. But something I didn't know about, and this is a pretty cool feature, is that CEOs cannot dismiss members during a special cargo mission, but if an associate has deliberately destroyed the special cargo during a sell mission, the CEO has an option to punish the associate by terminating them from the organization and blocking them from being a CEO or associate for 30 minutes. Do any of you guys know about that feature, especially the last part? If you destroy special cargo in a sell mission, if you get dismissed from that organization, you cannot be a CEO or an associate for 30 minutes. It's like a timeout. So that is something to take note of. If you're playing with a friend and you really want to annoy your friend or something, or if you just want to annoy someone, or if you accidentally destroy their special cargo on a sell mission, then that will also have temporary implications on you. So make sure you are aware of that before you start taking your actions into hand. So that is really, really interesting. I had no clue that feature was about. It's been pretty hidden away. I know some of you guys may have found that feature by default, But of course, it's really interesting to see some of those features Rockstar Games added in. So next up, they also answered the question, which I know loads of you guys have been asking, if not all of you guys have been asking, and this is why you should become an associate. And this is because the CEO isn't given a confirmed amount of money. It's down to how they manage to pull off their missions and whether they get ambushed or not. If you're an associate, you get a stable income, a wage bonus for consecutive successful cargo missions, increase RP, health regeneration when inside the radius of a CEO as well, and the perks of being an associate are just a lot more stable. Granted, it's not necessarily as much money as a CEO, but of course you have to remember that if you are a CEO, then you are putting your wage at risk, and it's not necessarily set in stone you're going to get this much money, because on cell missions, as you guys saw before, rival competitors have stuff to gain, and if you fail a cell mission or if you glitch a cell mission, of course you're not going to get that money, and it can leave you with no money at all in this DLC. So it's something just to keep note of. If you are an associate, you got a stable salary, a stable income, you get RP, you get health, and it's just a nice way of getting yourself money without having that risk of losing it. But of course, if you guys are in that CEO business, if you like the risk, go for a CEO place, start your own organization, and start taking that risk. But it's really down to what you guys prefer doing. But Rockstar Games just tried to answer every single popular question and some of the most asked questions. It's something they do after big DLCs. The final question I have here before I start breaking down a few things they said in the newswire is regarding the most popular question, and this is about why we can't do buy and sell missions in a private session. In fact, many of you guys have even looked up glitches to get solo private sessions, and some of you guys are willing to even cheat in the game to get a solo private session, because Rockstar Games have made it pretty much necessary you have to do these missions in public sessions, which of course will contain risks. But the nature of this DLC is to succeed as a CEO, which requires navigating the risks and rewards of a ruthless Los Santos free market, where everyone is out to snipe at your latest venture. So buy and sell missions were designed specifically for trade in public sessions. You also have to keep in mind that more players in your session means a bigger bonus for a successful sale of special cargo because you're taking a higher risk, while associates receive wage increases for completing consecutive buy or sell missions with the same CEO. If you're concerned other players are hanging about your warehouse or office, pick the right time to sell. Make sure you have an associate to get them to clear out the players who are stalking you or waiting for you to execute a deal, taking your team off the grid with the Ghost Organization ability, and exiting via the rooftop helipad where possible are also solid strategies. So what Rockstar Games are pointing at is that the reason why these are necessarily done and mandatorily done in public sessions is because of the nature of this DLC. It would be a bit boring if all of these things were done in private sessions. The whole nature of this is to become the kingpin and to do these things successfully with the free market of Los Santos, which is of course everyone else playing. And the higher the risk you take, the more money you can get from these missions, not only for yourself, but also for the associates as well. So I thought I may as well just mention that. I'm not too sure what you guys think about these things. Of course, Rockstar Games are taking these things with a pinch of salt. Of course, they do know that people will be camping outside the maze bank occasionally with buzzards, getting ready to kill you. There's, of course, jets around sessions as well. If someone's got a laser, then you're probably going to screw up because that laser is going to lock straight onto your vehicles and it's going to try and knock you out. So there's a lot of competition in a public session. But I guess the best tactic to do is simply get an associate outside first to take down anyone stalking you, and then of course make your move with Ghost Organization enabled. But it's really down to how you guys want to play it. Of course, if you guys have any tips, let other people know, as well as myself, down in the comment section below. Anyway, that pretty much wraps up the key highlights of Rockstar Games' Q&A they recently did about 45 minutes ago on the newswire regarding this DLC and the most asked questions they got from the community. If you guys want to go and check that out, I will leave a link to it in the description below. It was released about 45 minutes ago or so. But alongside this information, Rockstar Games also added in one small sentence, which I know loads of you guys have been asking me about since. And this sentence is really interesting, and it may actually hint towards a part 2 of the Finance and Felony DLC. But let's get into that sentence right now. So if you guys go and check out the article, I'll leave a link in the description below to it. it adds on right at the top that the further adventures in Finance and Felony adds a whole new level of gameplay to the world of GTA Online. As you buy and sell contraband to expand your empire across Los Santos, this two-part series will dive you into finer points to help you become the ultimate criminal kingpin and unstoppable CEO. So what many of you guys have been focusing on is that small part of this extract saying this two-part series. And some of you guys have been picking this up saying maybe there's a Finance and Felony part 2. I am just going to settle this right now. There's not going to be a Finance and Felony Part 2 DLC. The fact that this DLC was a successor to the Executives and Other Criminals DLC suggests that if there is going to be a Part 2, it's going to have a completely different name. What I believe Rockstar Games are inferring to is another article. This article gave you the tips and tricks in becoming a CEO or the ultimate kingpin in Los Santos. The next article is most likely going to be regarding your organization, how you can become the best. They're probably going to do something else in a few weeks' time where they just answer some more questions and try and help you out as well, and just give you some secret tips and tricks which hopefully you probably didn't know about. So I believe that is what they're trying to get at. This is a two-part article series. We shouldn't be seeing a new DLC, but if we do, I will keep you updated, so make sure you do subscribe for that. Anyway guys, if you did enjoy the video, please don't leave without smashing that like button. If we get 1,000 likes, that'll be absolutely crazy. And of course, if you guys did enjoy, make sure you do subscribe to my channel so you won't miss out on any more awesome stuff just like this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. If you want to go and check out the Newswire article, I'll leave a link to it in the comments. But guys, my name is Nort. Unfortunately, that's all I got time for today, and I will see you guys next time.